Hey guys, welcome back to the stream, the devlog. We are still working away on moving stuff into C++ so that we can check performance. We've got a little bit to go before we can actually do that, but this is our first function, which is calculating the time with, this is our C++ function, and we can see where that is, and it's not in there. Well, actually it is. It's right here. Now, in actual fact, you can see that these aren't plugged in, so I could actually make these not. And we seem to have a band playing outside. Or some very loud music. Right, hopefully it's not too popular and I don't get content. Bloody blad. Right, anyway, so this is our C++ function. Right? Now, it does call it from within our function here, and we could fix this out and we could tell it not to have any outputs, right? But we have yet to really check this out. So let's try it and see if we get any kind of performance change as against our normal blueprints. Now, for you guys in the chat, let me know if you want to see how I would normally set up a blueprint class if I was doing it in the project. Let me know in the chat if that's you'd like to see that, and I'll certainly show you, or I'll show you an example of it anyway. I'll do it for real. In the meantime, we're going to have a look to see if our performance has changed any. This should be interesting. Right, so normally that's what we're doing, taking 2 steps forward. Then we do stat FPS. And that is certainly better than it was earlier today. Now, yep, that is definitely better. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll see if we can find something that's fairly straightforward, right? So we know that these, well, we know that this one and this one probably are not going to be particularly easy, right? This one is the one we're working on. We've done a couple of the, we have done this calculate rain occlusion, and we've done something else, even though I can't actually remember what it was. Ah, well, no, it was this calculate sun rotation. Okay. So we've done this one. We've done this macro. Right? We're going to need to do this one. And then remap intensity curve. Yep, we can do that. Right? Because that gives us, I believe, we've done this one. And it's not that one. It's not that one. Okay, I'm never sure which one it is. So it was, we're doing this one. It's this thing here. And this is more like, we can do this. Right, and add this all to one thing. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. Right? So, we'll come in here. We'll go to this one. Right? And we'll copy this much. This is going to give us a float back, right? And so it's not going to be that, so it's going to be float. Okay. So we'll call it calc time intensity curve, and we're going to pass in current time. Okay. Then we're going to do that. Okay. So the way I do it is always close this down, right, and then just move straight over to here. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to say float we're going to say temp value, right, and then this is going to be temp value. Then we're going to do our modulus, right? So we're going to do int mod value. We're going to say equals 24. Okay. Then we're going to say temp value equals current time divided by 1000. Then modulus mod value right. This is this weird stuff again that's going on. Right. We get int okay, we can do that. In the first instance, what we could do here down the bottom is we can do int okay. So that gives us this number here that's going into here. Okay, so now we can look at this one. And we need two variables. Right? We need nighttime start, nighttime end, day. Nighttime start, daytime start. Okay. So we need two variables here. Float. Daytime start, comma, float, night time start. So we copy them. Paste them in. Back to here. Then what we do is we say daytime start minus night Ah, there's a capital there. Alright. So we'll go back to here. Night time. Start. Then we bracket that. Then we do 12 minus. Oh, no we don't, we do 12 divided by. Okay. Then we multiply that by temp value. And what we'll do here is so we get day, time, start multiplied by that oh wait a minute, and then we get that wait a minute, we need a bracket around that, right? Then we need that, copy that, and we get that, right, hang on a second, I'll do that first. In fact, what we'll do is we shall cut that, and this is actually the top line, right? So that gives us the top line. Okay. And this is the bottom line. So we say that minus this then we bracket that and you see plus 6 . So we say temp value equals that. Okay. And that is I believe so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, so it looks to me like we need another bracket there. Okay. So that one calculation there, or those couple of calculations, basically take out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different calculations. Right. So if we build this, we should be able to just pop that in. Remember guys, this is all because this is running on tick. Right, so every calculation is getting done 60 times a second, so the faster we can make it, the better. So that is the aim of the game here. And that's worked. So if we go to here, right, what we can do is we can move this down a bit. And then we can say calc time intensity curve. Okay. Then we go into here. We copy them. Right. We go back into here. We paste them. Then we do that. Okay. Then we plug this in here. And this value should equal this value. Okay. So we add a breakpoint. We compile it and run it. And we're going to have to switch it to the editor. Okay, so we switched it to the editor. And there we go, there's our breakpoint, and our first time is 10.655 minus 3, so that's not so good. So we're getting 11.551. Okay. So this is minus 3, this is 10.655. So we're going to resume that, and we'll see if it only happens on the first time. 10.661 minus 3. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do this first part to make sure we're getting what we should be getting. Right, so that's 11.55. Okay, so we're going to stop it for now. We're going to go back to here, right, and then we're going to do that, and we're going to make sure we get the same value at this point. Okay. Right, okay. Did I say build there? Did I build that? Anybody knows if I built that or not? So as I said previously, guys, if you want me to show you how I would normally start on the C++ stuff, let me know. Because we're doing a function library, it's slightly different, right? But I normally do it differently for actors and stuff, and it's a decent process, and it means that you've always got the stuff available in C++. You might never use it, you can still create the blueprints, right, even if you don't use them, but it's worth a go. Right, so we hit play again, and you'll notice that we are here, and this one is 11.55, and I'm not 100% sure. You see, to me, right, wait a minute. I'm going to break it there, because I want to know what number this is. Because that does not appear to be the modulo. Right, so we're going to start it again. Now, if you remember rightly, it's 11.551843. And the crazy thing is that this number is actually that number there as well. So in theory, that doesn't need to be there. Right, so basically we can do that. We can remove that. Or in fact, we could do that. Just do float. Right, and that can just go. Now, there's something still weird about this, right? I'm going to stop this. Now, don't ask me why this number coming out of here is the same number as this. Well, actually, you know what? I think I do. Maybe no. Right, so we can press play now. Right, so 11.551843. Right, and this should be, well, that's different. That's an interesting one. So the number coming in here, right, is that. Interesting. I think the problem is going to come when this number is over 24. Right. But for the moment, that doesn't really matter because we're just really here to test the speed. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to do that. Right? And we're going to build this. And we'll see how that goes for us. And Sunday's being a quiet night. It's always a quiet night on a Sunday. For whatever reason. Right, we resume that. And we get 10.655 minus 1.3. Okay, well, yeah, okay. let's do that again because we're not 100% sure. Okay, so build that. This does take time because you're not actually writing the code. If you knew what all the calculations were, you can just batter it down. But the problem is that we are actually just trying to copy blueprints in reverse. So we're trying to reverse engineer these blueprints into C++ and get all these calculations in the right order and stuff. Which isn't always the easiest, but... Right, so... this number coming out of here right, we'll do this bit by bit, okay? So if we resume, right, this should be the 11.55183, 11.55184, right, we'll go with that. That's fine. So if we resume, right, so daytime start, we can take this a little bit, right, so we can stop this, go back to our code, and what we can see is this part here. Right, so we can copy that and we can say temp value equals that part. Okay, 12 divided by that minus that. Okay, so we can build that. You've got here night minus day. Just we've got to make sure that that's the right way around, and we've got it the wrong way around. Night. That should be day. And that would explain a lot, actually. I'm just wondering now if we actually do that, and we say night, day, do 3, night, day, right, we'll put that in, save that, and build it, and see where we go with that. Right. So we resume that, and we get 10.655, 13.344. So those aren't the same. So we can stop that for now. We'll go back into this one, and we want to know what this is. Okay, so we can get this yeah, that's okay. Or is it? Yeah, what we should you know what we should really do? What we should do is basically call it mod current, right? And we should do that so that we know what that is. Right? And we shouldn't do that. What we should do is this should be mod current. And we still need to define our temp value. Right, so we want to do times mod current here. Right, and that should give us this value here, because this is mod current and this is what we're calculating it to be. Okay, so when we run it, right, we get this number here, 34.6555. We resume that, and that's completely wrong. That's completely wrong. The number coming in is 11.551. Right, why is this weird? You know why it's weird? Because I've got these plugged in the wrong bloody way round. Watch out for silly mistakes like that, which are easy to make. Right, so we're looking for 34.555. 34.6555. Right, we'll call that close enough. Right? So I'm going to put the full calculation back by basically doing that. Okay, we'll just wait on that building. How are you guys out there tonight in YouTube land? Hope you're doing well. Right, we're going to press play. Resume. 10.6555, 10.6555. Right. So fundamentally, we can basically stop this and plug that in there. Now, we know that we're already calculating that sun rotation thing. Right? There is our calculate sun rotation. Okay. And we get what we want is forward, get forward vector. And it's not that. Right, so if we actually go into here, we can do copy that, and I believe it's this one. And that's the right vector. And then we can get actor forward vector. Right? And we can do that. Then we can say northern, get northern latitude. And we can plug it into the right place. Right? And we can basically plug this in here. And I'm guessing this is going to be a heck of a lot of Right, we're going to disable that breakpoint. Then we're going to run it. And I've already disabled that other breakpoint. So I'm going to go and grab a cigarette, guys. When we come back, we shall test this out. I'm going to get it to run. So if you're enjoying the stream, hit like and subscribe. For those who have subscribed on this one, thank you very much. It's appreciated. And check out the description for more links. There's a link to our Kickstarter, links to Discords for the game and my personal one. There's Patreon, plus my previous game on Steam and our website. So I shall be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so we are back. Now, I don't know if that's the correct weather or not. Right, I'm going to stop that actually, because I'm not convinced that this hasn't screwed things up. Right. I'm not particularly convinced by this weather system. I mustn't have it set up right, because it's always going to thunder and lightning in about the first 2 minutes. But we'll soon find out. Right. So we'll go back to our normal position and start unit. Oh, start FPS. Now the interesting thing is here, right, wait a minute. I'm just going to go for it here. Right, we're just going to go for it. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to break it here. Right, because what I want to do is check this value here against this value here. Okay. Ah, damn it. I'm going to cancel that. And we're going to go selected viewport. And this rotation is minus 14 on 15. Well, that's not quite right, is it? Well, it gave us an idea. Right, now we could check this out, obviously, again, in a similar manner, which is probably what we're going to have to do. But the thing I wanted to see was, I was thinking, when we were doing, this is the sun rotation, right? Right, what was the things we weren't 100% sure on? Right, so what we're going to do is check out some of these things. Right, I'm guessing that's the best one to try first, right? So what I'm going to do is I could do this as a print, and I could print it out if I could remember how to print stuff out. I think you've got to change things to strings. I could always open another project and find out, but it's probably just yeah, it's probably just easier, right? To do it this way. Right, just to output it. So if I copy that, go to here, do that, paste that in. Right. And then if we do that, we could say V equals temp vector, right? And this is the V right times 111, so we can check what that is when it comes out. If we go in here, right, we add the breakpoint here. We can check this value as it comes out, right? Okay, so we're going to try that. What's the Kickstarter campaign? It's our Kickstarter campaign for getting funding for the game. Where you can like pledge to get the game, or pledge some other amount, or just pledge to help us out, or whatever. You can get keys to the game, you get your name in the game, all the sort of Kickstarter stuff. Right, so if we press play here, we've got this value here, which is basically 100. Right, and if we resume this, we're going to have to stop that. We're going to have to refresh nodes. Right, and we're going to have to try that again. So our first value that we want to check is this 100. And then the normalized version should be 100. Right, so if we come up to here, this should be 100. Aren't you going to tell us what you are? We know that you're wrong, but we don't know what you are. Okay. I guess we're just going to have to put a print string in. I'm working on more C++ to check performance. Right, so we do that, then we do that. We're gradually checking as we go through our code. Right, so what we're doing is we're checking this one, right? So basically this is the first value that we're checking. And that's 1100. So if we look at the code here, well, that's utter bollocks, because that's should be that. So there's the first error, right? Because that should be 110. It's not getting the hang of it, it's just trying to reverse engineer some of it. And getting everything in the right place. Right? So, yeah, there's that. And it takes time because you need to rebuild it, especially if you're testing it. I suppose I could put some print strings in. But maybe I'll get ready for that tomorrow. I'll have a look at my old projects with print strings in them so that I remember how you do it, rather than having to Google it and force you guys to sit and watch while I try to Google how to print out messages on the screen. It's easier just to do it like this and show you how I'm actually testing it. Right, so this is going to here, right? And basically we're checking that this number is correct. So this number is 100. Okay, so it's basically taking the rotation because the Z is zeroed out. Or in fact it's doing the opposite, it's taking everything but the rotation. But if we resume this, and then we resume again, we're going to have to disable that breakpoint and disable that breakpoint. Right, we're getting 100, which is correct. Right? So our next thing is to copy that and then do the cross product one. Right, so all I need to do is put that in there. Yeah, there's certain days it's quiet, and Sunday's always one of them. Sunday, in fact, funnily enough, Saturday night as well. Well, you can understand it because people have got better things to do on a Saturday and Sunday night, I suppose. Right, so what we're doing now is we're going to try and find out what this cross product value is, but I don't think that's actually going to tell us very much. Right, this is the number we're looking at here. Right, so we've got -1 in the center, right? this is obviously wrong. Right? Because it should be 0 minus 1, 0. Okay? So we're going to stop that. And it's 1 in the Z. So that's right. But it's not right. X, yeah, it is X, Y, and Z. Right, so it's not as if they've got them. Yeshayujia. There's 2 of us. Right, so there's something weird going on here. Because this cross product isn't coming up with the right number somehow. Right? I'm just wondering. If I do F math, right. He has a team. Yeah, there's a team of 2. And I'm not in college. I'm a little bit old for that. So apparently you can't product, right? So it should be temp. Right, cross product. I wonder. It might be that. Right, okay, it might be that. Just getting the syntax right here. Right, so right, so oops, that's not what we wanted to do. Right, so if we press play now, we know that the cross product should be -1 in the center, right? But it's not. Okay, it's just not. Right, now the reason we know that is if I add a breakpoint, this is just to explain it to you guys, right? Is if I look in here, right, it says x 0, y -1, z 0. Yeah, there's new bow animations and everything, yeah. So whatever's happening, this cross product is not doing what it should do. Right? So it's a 0, 0, 1. Right? So that's utter bollocks. So it's 0, 0, 1. Right? Now, I could put a 0 there, and I could put a 0 there, but it ain't going to make any bleeding difference. And there's no point in testing the other stuff because it's just bollocks as well. Right, I suppose I could test the bottom one and we can determine whether or not the other parts of it are right. So what I could do is get this value right, so that would be doing this, copy that and then paste that there. Right, and then we could always test this value here as well to find out what that number is. I didn't really do it. It wasn't me that done the, because it was all animations and stuff, which I don't do. It was all the other guy. So I just had to look at it, fixed a couple little issues, and that was us. Right, so if you let me run this, I'll try it. I'll let you see it in action. Right, so what we're doing here is we're checking this value here. And that's 0.34.93. It's minus 0.34. 0.34.93. Okay. And that seems to be Jack. And this is this rotate around vector thing. So I guess the first thing we should actually do here is check this forward vector. Right, I'm going to enable this breakpoint. And our forward vector is -1 on the Y. Okay, So basically, we need to add a breakpoint here. Right, so -1 on the Y, which is correct, and 1 on the X. Right. And of course, the interesting thing here is what this is. But if we resume it, yeah, the thing you want to do is you just want to click the button that says "Let me know" when it's active. So that's 100, right? And then when we multiply it out, it's 100. Then when we cross product it, it should be 0 minus 1, but it's not. So there's a couple of values coming in the first place are right. Right. But we're going to need to know what this is. Yeah, it's not open yet. You've got to get people following it first on the Kickstarter. Right? So we need to know if this degrees thing is right. Okay. So that's 0.27 minus 0.27 minus 0.26. And this a long time. This game is on day 86. For me, I've done another game. I've done an Xbox game. I've done a PC game. Blah blah. Okay, quite well, and then go ahead. Right, we're going to say print string in here. Right, and what I want is this value here, basically. Yeah, I'd made an Xbox 360 game. Just because I could. Keep forgetting about it, to be honest. But I did, yeah. It's on Xbox Indies. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug in this number here. And compile that. Then we're going to go to the C++. We're going to have to print this out, right? So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to do float angle. floaty angle. Right, then we're going to paste this into our H file. Come on. Do that, paste that. Enjoy it, mate. When you're finished school and have to work, you'll wish you'd never left school. You'll wish you were that young again and back in school. Right? So we're calculating this at temp angle, right? So what we're going to say is angle equals this temp angle degrees. Okay. And there we go. Build. Okay, apparently I can't build. For whatever reason. Did I just build that? Well, it's kind of hard to see when you're dead, because like your eyes don't function anymore and your brain shuts down, so I wouldn't worry about it. Right, I'm getting confused by myself again. Right, so we want to look in here and we want to refresh nodes, and then we want to print out the angle, right? And that's quite handy on these two, because if it's a vector I can plug it in there, and if it's a float I can plug it in there, right? So press play. And we should be able to resume that, right? And we should get the same number printed out. Right, we do. Right, these numbers should always be the same. Okay? So that's good. Right, so that's cool. So that's okay. Right, now, yous guys are probably wondering what's going on here. But basically what I'm doing is I'm working out, there's this piece of these calculations here. Right? And it's doing an if statement. And if it's this one, it's setting it false. If it's false, right, it uses this value, right? And if it's true, it uses this value. So one is minus 180, one is multiplied by minus 1, and then it basically pumps out the thing and uses this angle here to give us this value here. Right? Now, the really interesting thing is, or maybe not, the interesting thing to me is this kind of proves if this rotation is working right, okay? So what I'll do is, if we go into the here, right, it's this one here. So these two numbers should be the same, right? This is vector bottom, right? So what I mean by vector bottom is it's doing the bottom section of the code, which is this part here, right? Loads of things, but everybody's you know, entitled to their opinion, so there's no point in saying people are stupid, because that's not going to win you many friends. Right, so what we need to do now is come out of this one, go into this one, and use this one. And we should get the same result here, which basically is that we should get the same numbers being pumped out. Right, but they're different. Okay? So, obviously, there's one or two things going on here, right, that aren't right. So we've been debugging, right, and what we can say is this rotate angle axis is not giving us the value that we expect. Okay? Now, of course it's not, because I was doing the wrong one. Right, test it again. I mean, this is a lot easier to do if you're actually writing the code. Well, just ask him if he would like to fly around the world and then laugh at his answer. Yes, you do. You do forget it. That's not anything new. Because you're always, well, especially if you're working while you're coding, then like when I was working in business, you know, things I had done the week before I forgot about what I'd done. People would ask you, you know, how you did something, and you basically says, I can't remember. Right, but it really depends as well. It depends on, right, so the question is, we need to see these. Right, so bottom vector is good, okay, because these two are the same. Right, so bottom vector, good. Top vector, bad. So the cross product is not giving us the correct thing as far as I can tell. Right, now there's no point in me carrying on with this tonight because I don't want to bore you by looking at Google. So I'm going to call it early tonight. It's Sunday night, it's quiet, let you guys get to your beds for work and school and stuff. So if you've enjoyed the stream, hit like and subscribe. Anybody that has during the stream and is still here, thank you very much, much appreciated. Check out the description for links, and you can sign up for free for news on our Kickstarter, plus the Discord and my personal Discord, plus my Patreon, previous game on Steam, and our website. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow 2 PM Central as normal. Thanks again, and bye bye for now.